should have come much earlier than today, and we apologize for that delay, but we believe that coming here is the most honorable thing to do, Honorable Speaker. And not only that, Honorable Speaker, the House of Representatives has been supporting us, supporting our company to deliver on its mandate. And since we came on board as a Speaker, we have had substantial engagement with the House of Representatives, including at the level of some of the committees and some other committees that are working on the business that affect what we are doing. We are very happy that those engagements have been very, very fruitful and beneficial. Secondly, Right Honorable Speaker, this company, the NNPC Limited, is the creation of the National Assembly by virtue of the promulgation of the Petroleum Industry Act, which created a fully commercial national oil company and two appropriate regulatory institutions which are now independent of the National Oil Company, which also regulates the activities of the National Oil Company. And this has come over a very long period of attempts to do this. Mr. Speaker, you may recall that since the year 2000, there was an attempt to create reform in the oil and gas industry that did not crystallize until the year 2021, 21 years after the start of that process. Now, we do understand that this is a very difficult decision to make. Globally, it has always been a challenge moving from an old oil and gas environment to a much modern, much more competitive environment where regulation becomes paramount, where transparency and accountability become part of the law. And we're happy that that happened. And it didn't come from nowhere. Yes, as the reforms were going on, the company was going through enormous transformation in the last 10 to 12 years. And of all the transformation that was done, we still were in a total loss position as a company of 803 billion naira by year 2018. So it was a loss-making institution, and for very many reasons, conflict of responsibilities. We do too many things that we should never do. And ultimately, because it is not a business, we cannot deliver our projects on time. We resort to financing that may always not be available, and ultimately, the end result is that our costs became high. We are not able to be as productive as we should be, and we are losing money. But all the changes that happened in the company, including those that happened after the promulgation of the PIA, saw us, this company, changing from a loss position in 2018 to a net profit level of 674 billion naira in 2021. And Mr. Speaker, I can also tell you now, we have not published our annual financial statement. We will do it very soon. And perhaps it's also good to say that the company didn't have the practice of publishing its annual financial statement. We did this, and that is how today, every account that we have from 2018, 19, 20 to date, including the one we'll publish, are in the public space, as required by the law. And we're happy to do this. And when we do this, you will see that this company will post after profit tax of over 2 trillion naira in the year 2022. This, no doubt, may look very good, but for a company of huge assets that we have, we know that we can do better than this, and the future looks very, very bright. Even for 2023, the Right Honorable Speaker, our expected government take from the operations of this company is over 4.5 trillion naira by the end of this year. So it is a company that is returning value to its shareholders. We have already started paying interim dividend to its shareholders in line with the provisions of the Petroleum Industry Act and also the Company and Allied Matters Act, and is already showing up. Yes, we do have past, no doubt about it, too many issues around our books that we are resolving, but the reality today is that this company is operating like just any other private company that you will see. Is returning value to its shareholders and is focused on its key mandate, which is to create value for its shareholder, and also meet the requirement of the PIA, which says that this company must provide energy security for accounting. This we are doing it religiously, and it is good time to also assure you that we have a robust supply plan until the end of the year and beyond, and that we do not anticipate any shortages in the country, because this is the requirement of the law, and it is good that we were able to do this. Because today, our downstream business, particularly in the retail part of it, occupies over 30% of the market share. This is the target for us to ensure that at any time that no one can hold this country to ransom, and it is already manifesting in this. You will see a few reports, very, very scattered, but very few, and a number of places you will say, oh, there are a few queues. They are not queues. It is really market forces playing. In our stations, because we are integrated end to end, our prices are a little lower than our other partners or even competition, if we can call them that name. And that is why Nigerians now do two things. First, they look for the lower price, and secondly, the assurance that in our stations, they will get quality. They will get quality for quality and also volume. And that explains some of it. Otherwise, there is no shortage of any nature, right, Honorable Speaker. The market will stabilize, and we understand why this is happening also. The enormous work being done by President Bola Tinubu to normalize the foreign exchange market will now bring almost parity in the market, and you will see that more and more growth will come in the industry, and others will be able to participate much more effectively. We have a line of sight of this. We believe that the efforts that are being made by government will crystallize latest by the first quarter of next year, and once that parallel market and the AIRE window match or become very close, as it is true in every country, that you will see that this market will come back to a very comfortable level, and you will see much more competition, and some of these urge for people to come into our stations will become much more reduced. And otherwise, subsidy is gone. We do not charge any subsidy to government today, and I will just make it very, very clear that there is no provision for it in the law. There is no requirement for it, and also we are selling in the market at the price that we are recovering our full cost from this operation. Despite this, foreign exchange transaction is a different ball game, and that is why we are engaging to see that the other private sector will come into play in this market. And we know that efforts are being made by government to resolve this situation. And this explains, Excellency, why you do not see active domestic refineries in our country. It was subsidy that was the real reason, because people cannot invest when they are not sure of recovering their full cost. Now they have a line of sight, and we are seeing enormous efforts made by private sector to create small refineries and even bigger ones that are now already on construction phase in very many locations. And we don't like talking about our refineries. It is a very, for us, it is, I don't want to call it a shame, but we are rising to that challenge, and I can confirm to you, Right Honorable Speaker, that by the end of December latest, we will start the Port Harcourt refinery. Early in the first quarter of 2023-2024, we will start the Warri refinery. And also, by the end of 2024, Kaduna Refinery will come into operation. This is the commitment that we are giving, and you can hold us accountable on this. And the other part of it is that in 2024, many of the initiatives that are happening, including the rehabilitation of our refineries, and also the efforts by small-scale refiners, and also the upcoming startup of the Dangote refinery will make this country a net exporter of petroleum product in 2024. So we will no longer be talking about imports of petroleum product after 2024 or by the last quarter of 2024. We are very optimistic that this will crystallize. And having said this, Right Honorable Speaker, no law is perfect, and we are engaging to see wherever there is a need for us to come back to you, we will do, so that this reform, which is unprecedented in the history of our country, will now become more and more effective. As we will have any suggestions, we will come back to you. And of course, every industry has its challenges. Today, our biggest trouble is the security of our assets in the Niger Delta, particularly the activities of oil thieves and oil bandits of all nature. This government has risen substantially and in a very magnificent manner. We are seeing the improvements that these activities, both including that of involving private security contractors, have put on the table. Just for the records, Right Honorable Speaker, in 2022, around July, actually our production went down to below 1 million barrels, including condensate production. It was impossible to continue because pipelines are down, it is impossible to run them. When you put 100 barrels, you recover sometimes even less than 10. And no one will produce oil if he's not sure of taking it to the terminal. And that is how we came about the intervention with the support of all the government security agencies. And today, those efforts are paying off. Today, our gross production, including condensate, is up to 1.65 million barrels per day. And this is huge, and we know that within the year, and perhaps latest by the first quarter of 2028, we will meet your budget level expectations of the production, while efforts will be made to continue to improve on the production targets in our environment. That, of course, needs your help, and political pressure for us to continue to have engagement with communities, with security agencies to ensure that the safety of these assets are procured. And it did create even bigger problem for us, Excellency. Investments are low because no one will see an environment where when you produce, you cannot recover and put his money. So that's why there's some level of stagnation of investment, and that confidence is being built back, and we are seeing that progress that is happening. Substantial cost to the country, because they treat our country as a war zone, and therefore in a war zone you put a premium on everything, including cost, even that of personnel. And we believe that the ongoing stability that we are gradually recovering will bring back that confidence, and very hopeful that it will reduce our cost. And we'll continue to come back to you to seek your help and support at all times. And we promise you, Right Honorable Speaker, that we'll cooperate with the National Assembly. We will actually need your help, not cooperation. We need your help to deliver on the tax of this company. We'll continue to fruitfully engage all the relevant committees of the National Assembly, including the House of Representatives. And if there's any information that is required, we are always available to provide those information. And a few things I will say, maybe in the closed door, I'll make some other specific requests. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much.